We have lots of announcements today, but Bridge and I are going to talk about our wonderful event this afternoon. You can tell me what that is. Yes, Miss Bianca.
Jump rope.
Jump event.
Oh.
Yes, and we're jumping rope. You are correct. And why are we doing that? Somebody else in the audience, raise your hand. Gabby.
For Africa.
Yes, for Africa. And what were you all charged in doing?
Raising money.
Yes, Mr. Julian.
Raising money.
Raising money. Yes. To benefit our charity. So as a whole part of the program, every single one of us play a part in the success of this fundraising event for our program this year. And only one part of that is the jump event this afternoon. You guys already started raising funds with the penny war. And tell us how successful we've been up until that point, Miss Justice.
Well, with the time that we have, I think that we are doing pretty successful. So just keep doing what you're doing.
We've raised a few $100s up until this point, is that correct? But we don't have a final count.
Yes.
Yeah, so good job, everybody. A few hundred. That is a ton of pennies. And somebody who picked up that big bag, RC, don't ever do that again. Where's RC at? It's very heavy. So, anyway, congratulations to all of you. You guys did a dynamic job. And at this point, Miss Justice is going to tell us what the expectation is for this afternoon.
What do you mean? Just what we're gonna do?
What time is it? Where should we be?
Okay. The event is from 4 to 5:25. And it's going to be on the lawn, the fake lawn by the turf. Okay, Tish, that's why I told you to come up here. By the Gold Rush. And we're going to have music and a bunch of jump ropes. And you guys are going to take turns with your team jump roping. Last summer we had a lot of fun. And I participated. I don't even like exercising, so yeah. Yes. There will be water and refreshments in case you get thirsty and hot. And yeah, you can still donate when you get there if you want to. If you really want to. But yeah.
Any other bridge announcements? So far there are 7 teams that have provided forms to the bridge. So we're still without 4 teams that have not submitted.
Well, some submitted forms with no money, so.
Okay.
They gave me their forms, but
Okay, so you will collect money up until the banquet for those forms. Is that correct? Okay, very good.
or even just donations. It really doesn't. Yeah.
Will you do it at the banquet? Will you get money at the banquet?
Yes.
Okay.
Our expectations this afternoon. Your team leaders will help you in the event that you come to the event at 4 o'clock and you don't have on the appropriate clothing, which also includes shoes. You have to have tennis shoes on. It is not acceptable to come in flip-flops and some of the slip-on shoes. It's a safety issue, and in order to make everybody safe and comfortable, you have to come dressed appropriately. Make sure that your shorts fit you. Nothing should be too tight, too loose. And again, it's a jump rope event. We have invited the media to come if they have the availability, so you never know when your picture will be taken. And there are many social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, and all those things, and Mr. Cola is known for capturing your picture when you're not really expecting it. Yes. So be on the alert because you will wind up probably on our Cal YouTube page, so we're excited about that. Good luck, everybody. This is a wonderful cause, and we have such an enjoyable time at this event for an hour and a half. And what a better way to celebrate the end of the first session
Sarah?
Just a quick question. Since tutoring normally starts at 3:30, for that half an hour, the students should be in the residence hall, correct?
That is a very good point. We have built-in time for students to go back to the dorm, to get in their appropriate gear, be over at the artificial turf with their team leader at promptly 4 o'clock. Perfect. Thank you for that reminder. So again, we have no tutoring this afternoon because of the jump event. Finals are today. Many of you are finishing your finals, some final projects. We already saw students over in the library printing off and working. You guys are doing a dynamic job. We want to tell you always in this session some feedback. We have positive feedback from our instructors, from our tutors. You guys have really stepped it up the last week and a half and are really excelling in all of your classes, which is our hope for you in the summer program. So good job to all of you. Team meetings. You should be completing your PowerPoints this week. Don't forget, everybody is a part of the team. You are expected to present during the team presentations that occur on July 11th. The next part of this is talking about the banquet, and I'm going to reference Mr. Seeley to discuss it.
All right, everyone. We had, as you probably know, a deadline. We sent out invitations to your homes, and we had a deadline of last Friday to call in to make reservations. We were able to extend that to yesterday noon. And so we did get some additional calls on Monday and maybe one to Tuesday morning. But any calls we received after Tuesday morning, we were unable to add them to the list because the list, the numbers that we send over to our food service department on Tuesday, those, we have to stay with those numbers. So that's been done. There are some of you who your parents or your guardians did not call in. Just as a reminder, the banquet is a required activity for the students. Parents and guardians are just invited as a courtesy. But as a student, you must attend the banquet. So for those of you who are not going to be accompanied by a parent, they may pick you up at the residence hall and sign you out at around 8:30. That's what time you can tell your parents, if they're not coming, that they can pick you up. There will be no sign-outs from 2:30 until 8:30. No one can depart during that time. So that's very important for you to know. It takes a lot of work to put the banquet together and carry it out, and our staff have other assignments that they've been assigned to during this period of time, so we cannot sign anyone out during that period. We hope that you will exhibit the knowledge that you gained from the Manners Workshop at the banquet. We were very happy as the members of the Upper Bound professional staff with the quality of that workshop. We felt that she did an excellent job in presenting and made somewhat of, maybe in your mind, a dry topic very interesting, very interactive, and that was important to us. Okay. Ms. Caddy?
week is our short week. So let's talk about departure, arrival back on campus, about our July 4th break. As you know, we go Monday through Friday this week. And then Sunday is, I'm going to refer to your calendar, Mr. Julian, is our tournament on the 1st. We have a return time at 5 p.m. These are the scheduled tournaments that we will have. You guys are also pretty dynamic on the volleyball court, I must say. So if you decide that you want to do a volleyball tournament in the outside, like common area, that's fine. Contact sports is really something we don't want to promote just because of injuries and some stuff like that. So make sure that you're doing sports that are really not contact. We will have a van that goes up to the college farm that shuttles students and staff up there. So you have to make sure that you sign out for one of the tournaments that your RAs and RTs will have up in the 3rd floor lobby area. And if you are not participating in a tournament, you are required to stay at the resident hall. Our staff are assigned to different locations, different activities, and so they won't be downtown and around campus because they'll be at the tournaments. So that is Sunday. Also, if you look, you are departing on the 3rd for July 4th break. And if you look, that's a pretty nice break for you guys to have. So thank you for fulfilling the long weeks that we have the Monday through Friday, because we made up a couple days the last couple weeks in the event of the July 4th break and you guys having some time off. You see that the return time on July 8th isn't until 7 p.m. Okay? You have to be mindful of those return times simply because our staff is instructed to be here at a certain time to make sure that you are supervised. Don't come here at 5 o'clock. All right? You cannot be dropped off. We don't have staff here at that time. Make sure you're mindful of departure and return times. Refer to your calendar whenever you have any questions. Anybody have any questions about the calendar? Yes?
I have a question. Sunday, I remember last year, if you didn't participate in the tournament, you didn't have to be back at 5. Is that the same this year, or do we still have to be back at 5?
No, be back at 5. Yeah, it's a required activity, and anytime we have an arrival time, that's our expectation. And the reason behind that is because of our staff being so many different places, we need to know where all of our students are at. So our expectation is 5 o'clock. Thank you. Good question. Any other questions about the calendar? Yes, Mr. Clark.
Could badminton be involved?
Badminton, I guess so. Does that use a volleyball net outside? Or another net?
You can use volleyball.
Staff, do we have a badminton net?
We do have a net, we don't have the thing, there's nothing to hang it to. So, as far as our net, we have nothing to hang it to, we only have 2 rackets and 2 birdies.
I have a bunch of rackets and birdies around.
What about a bracket to hold up that bar? That's
Boy,
what I don't know. Let's try to think about that. I can't give you an answer right now. Thank you, Mr. Clark. We'll try to address your badminton issue. Any other questions? Okay. What's next on the list then?
Was there a notice about?
No. Yeah, go ahead.
I know everyone in your foreign language yesterday afternoon were instructed to report to Everly 350, I think, the lab. Dr. Yumba, during the afternoon, sent an email and said he was rescinding that request, and you will just meet in your regular classroom, 117, today. You will not report to the lab. So you need to write that down, because I know, you've been told to go to different places.
It is brought to our attention on consequences and who's receiving those, and some issues related around consequences, behaviors, verbal inappropriateness. So this is a good time for us to remember why we are here. Remember, your experience here should be a positive one. We should all be abiding the UB code, which is respect at all levels, to ourselves and to others. When you are not following through with the policies and procedures that you agreed to at the beginning of the program, there are consequences that follow that. Please be mindful that your behavior is a reflection of yourself and your participation in this program. The consequences for different things should not be happening. You guys are high schoolers. This is not elementary level, so behaviors are expected to be at a more mature level. We also challenge you to become young, responsible adults, and that's why you've earned a slot here in the summer program on a college campus in our resident hall. So please, please abide the UB code and be performing at your very best. Some of these consequences are unnecessary.
I'd just like to just follow up on that just shortly, just a little bit. Please understand that when your resident tutors and resident assistants are hired by us, and we spent a great deal of time in their training, talking to them about appropriate consequences and the step-by-step type of consequences, levels. They are doing their job. That's what they're doing. That's what they're hired to do. So it's important that you understand as students that if your behavior is such that it warrants a consequence, they are just doing the job that we, at the professional staff level, have instructed them to do. So that just carries into, there really isn't a need for you to have an attitude with our residential staff, because they are doing what we have asked them to do.
We will have a senior trip meeting in this room after all the seminar announcements are complete. Mr. Pula and Miss Seeley will meet all the seniors attending the trip in this room. So if you've made the commitment to go, you are expected to stay for that meeting.
And those of you who may not remember if you made that commitment, you need to stay anyway, so that we can remind you that indeed you did make that commitment.
RAs, do we have any announcements?
Yes, you.
Okay, come on up. That's okay.
Really quick, we would just like to congratulate you guys on as far as the gold rush. It's been so much better from last week as far as you guys throwing stuff away, sorting your plate and your forks, and food waste. It's been like a million times better, and I actually had a staff actually say that too, like from wasting whole apples and stuff as opposed to the oranges. It's been so much better, so I'd like to congratulate you guys on that one. Your gold rush food is not that great, but you guys have been doing so much better as far as that. Quickly, swimming in your calendar says it's from 8 to 10. However, due to schedule conflicts, Mr. Seeley, it's 9 to 10 today. Miss Allie talked to the person down there. There's a swimming camp from 8 to 9. So today's the only day that's swimming this week. We'll let you know as far as next week. But swimming today will be from 9 to 10 and not 8 to 10. And lastly, we'd like to talk to you guys about property. As far as like pool sticks, pool ball, 8 balls, I don't know. We kind of supply them, and the residence hall supply them for you guys' enjoyment. We don't want to come down when we're doing last checks and find 3 pool balls all over the floor, or we found yesterday that a pool stick was broken in half. Don't even know when that happened. This stuff is for your enjoyment, so it can as easily just be taken away. We want everybody to be able to use it, so we need to be mindful that just because you use it most does not mean you can destroy any of the property. We have ping pong paddles, like there's the rubber stuff is being ripped off. There's paddles all over the floor. Already took 4 paddles that was all over the floor. There's like 4 down. So we're down to 4 of 8 because they're all over the floor. The balls, I think we don't even have all of the 8 balls. And brought to my attention that a pool stick was broke. So we just want you guys to be mindful that this is for your enjoyment, but it can be taken away. And you guys can ruin it for everybody as far as destroying property. Because some of that stuff is outward bound, but also some of that stuff belongs in a residence hall. So it's not ours to be destroying, because we will have to replace it. So just a reminder, be mindful. You guys are free to enjoy it, and that goes for the TV too. If you're watching the TV, just turn it off when you leave. Put your chairs back. It's for enjoyment, but it can be taken away. And that's all I have, just reminders. So that's all. I'm going to sit down.
Thank you.
Mr. Petty. Real quick, Miss Coon's short stories and research are both in due to 212 today. And I know that yesterday during research she was saying that maybe some people could go in tutoring. I think she forgot that there's not tutoring today. So if you haven't already gone, be prepared to go today. Remember your flash drive, be dressed appropriately, and please be on time because it's going to be a tight schedule. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Just to follow up to what Ms. Deanna was saying, one of our goals is to try to get you to the point where you do mature into young, responsible adults. While we have rules, we make an attempt to give you freedoms so that you can display that appropriate behavior. Unfortunately, when we hear of situations where there was a pool stick broken, that's a concern, because we just do not have the resources to continually pay to buy new things like that. And that causes us then to, as a staff, to say, okay, how can we prevent this from happening? And it could result in us having you have to sign out those items, and you would then be responsible for those and return those. And if they were broken, it would fall on your shoulders then at that point. That's a lot of extra work for our staff. That's a lot of hassle for you. There's a lot of freedom just being able to use that equipment. But if we have to do that, we will do that and establish those kind of procedures, because we can't just throw away money. When we do trips, ball games, all those things, they cost money. And to have the resources to do those kind of things, we can't be throwing it away because somebody wasn't responsible about the equipment.
We wanted to let you know some more feedback that we got from Mary Ann Saka. It was so wonderful to see the engagement that you had during the workshop, for the manners workshop. Many of you participated, you were alert, you were attentive, and we really wanted to compliment you on your participation during the workshop, and we're even more excited to see you carry out those skills learned at the banquet on Friday. You may also feel that you can share some of the skills learned with the guests that you may have there, and show them how much you had learned through that workshop. So we're really excited. We felt that that was a wonderful opportunity for us to really make ourselves become better. And as she shared with you in the workshop, many things result from good behavior and manners. It's networking, it's very first impressions. It could be a possible contact for a job shadow one day, or a job opportunity, or a reference. So every time that you conduct yourself in a way that's positive, people remember that, and you leave a lasting impression. So we wanted to compliment you on your participation. We do things off campus. As you know, we talked about our job shadow. Ms. Ramsey coordinates that for a very long time to make sure that our rising seniors get the opportunity to be with a professional for a day. And they have been doing that the last 2 days this week. And so what we would like is for Job Shadow, a couple of you to volunteer and to share your experience on what you have gained through your Job Shadow site. Who would like to do that? Miss Bianca, you want to come up? Any other rising seniors who would like to share their experience? Yes? Yes, Miss Diona? Come on up.
You know, let's go first.